Alright, good evening everybody, System Chalk here with the second episode of Cultist Simulator, the Librarian playthrough. Or the Detective Legacy, but as the Librarian, a little challenge that I've imposed for myself. So, I actually don't remember the detective that well, so right now I've developed some evidence and I'm going to try and figure out what to do with it. I have my best bet right now, having played around with these, and then I have the inspector's position, so in this case... Oh, am I really that silly? If I apply my reason, perhaps I can learn more about my target, so I've had the option of applying... So this is a great dilemma here, right? Because I have the Season of Ambitions coming up, which means, well, I may be able to... I could use the stronger physique for a start. I should have been a little more careful. Okay, that's fine. Let's go... We'll use our health to search the city. And I'm going to lose this erudition before too long. I found somewhere unusual. Alright. So we can use... Okay, so I don't need to worry about the file anymore, and so Rose is off doing her thing. That's fine. We've got... we're going to be able to employ our reason towards investigation. Now, unless I can come up with an erudition in the next 11 minutes or so, that's also going to be a challenge. So I haven't quite figured out what I need to do with my... resources yet. Well, there's the lesson learned. Yeah, so there's no way that this erudition's going to survive the time that I need. I am going to leave... I'll be cheesy. Actually, that's still not going to survive anything, so there's no... Alright, let's continue to explore. I could use the study verb here, but I want to be careful with the... Okay, so we got a Course of the Heart out of that, which is nice. But let's see what we can do when we investigate. Rival is at their business in the shadow. They're still in hiding. What exactly are they up to? Almost always this will end inconclusively, but occasionally a rival will manage to increase their power in secret. Consider tempting them out from hiding by leaving an expedition open. Okay, so we don't have the... Oh, we do have the vitality we need, actually. Maybe it would be good for me to pursue the erudition, though. Yeah. It pains me to do so, but... Erudition is my priority right now. And Season of Ardor's coming up, so we've got a contentment, although I don't think I have that much to fear in terms of my my overall health. Okay, so the Course of the Heart, we've got a bunch of vitality sort of sitting around right now. It would be nice if I had a better way of handling it, but like I said, I've been trying to improve my reason, given the fact that it's the thing that keeps me from working the sealed bureau file. Okay. constant clatter of the constant clatter of closing doors, the damp stains of on the station walls, the smell of boot polish and unwashed constables. All this narrows to a single crystalline truth. I've made progress and earned myself some overtime pay. Okay, so we've turned that into tentative and damning evidence. So, seems to me like I can wait the 5 seconds. Oh, another course of the heart. My rival has been up to some kind of mischief. The Suppression Bureau may take note. And we'll recover that health right away. Okay, so I have a specific plan here. Season of Ardors, so I don't have that much to worry about right now. The question is, nope, I don't have the minute, so I am going to read whatever's to hand. So unfortunately, I'm doing more traditional work for a little while. But we don't have the immediately expiring evidence. So the problem here is that I need to make sure that I get my lessons learned plus I need to get my lessons learned and sort of boost everything up. So there's a way I'm going to navigate this. I've got a sickness now, so we can use the freshly expiring vitality. That'll buy us a little extra time. Again, we still need to produce lessons learned and things like that. But basically, my focus right now is going to be on erudition, and then anything that's left over, we're going to recover for the vitality. We do have quite a bit of money, though, so we'll take another trip to Moorlands, to the library. It takes time to sort the gold from the dross, the wheat from the chaff, the blood from the water. If I buy enough books, I'll find something interesting. I am refreshed. Okay, so... heal up right away. There's a new vitality for me here. Again, the priority is going to be to upgrade this erudition and then upgrade my reason first. Any vitality that remains is a bonus. And we've got the victory of crowns. So I don't see there being that much of a problem of heading back to Moorlands. We're going to get paid both from the inspector's position as well as the unskilled labor. Okay, so extra vitality to kick around, and we will now apply ourselves. Investigating a target, the more reason I use, the better my chance of success. Okay, so we don't need to worry about using the reason for erudition for the next little while. Here we're going to combine these. So this was important because 20 seconds, well, 30 seconds really, more we wouldn't have been able to use the lesson learned. So obviously we're going to be losing some vitality. We're almost certainly losing this lesson learned as well, but given that reason is going to be the main thing that my detective is currently using, that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. And you know, given the way that we've been doing the manual labor, it's not that hard for me to get the extra vitality. So we can make another trip to Moorlands. Again, I'm not really doing anything with this. It's just a chance for me to use a little bit of surplus cash for a while. And we'll leave that be. I think now that we're sitting at 3 funds, I can start walking the streets for exploration again. I may also take some time and combine up whatever vitality I have available to me in the study verb, but we'll worry about that later. Apollo and Marsyas. Okay, so we're just going to leave that be. We'll start searching the city through traditional means. And here we go, solving the case. I've turned over my evidence to the Assistant Director General of the Suppression Bureau. At this moment, I can assume hard-faced men in plain clothing are pounding on the door of my quarry. Alright, there's our lesson learnt. Speaking of lessons learned. Let's combine those for a bit of extra reason. Exercise the mind wiser. Knowledge is a city wall built stone by stone. But wait, what waits in the darkness beyond the walls? Why would we need a fortress, except that we had something to fear? And again, we'll avoid hiring anybody. Just there's no need for it. And yeah, it seemed like we had so much vitality, but we really don't. Season of Despair coming up. So the other thing to keep in mind is that given how the Season of Ambitions is going to be working, I think I still just need to leave one reason aside, but we don't have Rose potentially jumping in front of that. So I want to be kind of careful in terms of how I pursue the advancement of reason. And basically, I want to make sure that I have the option of dealing with the sealed file. Another miscreant? Will it ever end? Can we ever call the law, the city, the world safe? The Suppression Bureau holds their trials in closed court, and they are not merciful. My quarry disappears from the world. I have earned myself a promotion. Inspector's position. I have a senior position in the capital's police force, although I have been seconded to the Suppression Bureau. And we have a favor from authorities, so this is interesting. Oh, suspicious. Interesting. Ah, a kind of ascension. I've won favor with the authorities. I could use this to win myself a promotion to a place in the hierarchy of the Bureau itself. We're not quite ready to end the playthrough yet. But man, that'll be an interesting challenge. So if I get all the books and then try to move to the top of the Suppression Bureau, that might be an interesting goal. So the other question would be, if I follow up on the investigation, can I just use the evidence that I developed against someone else, against a new target? Anyways, Arms of Bronze, to work then. And I've reordered the Boundaries of My Ignorance, so we've got Notable Scholarship. Better not, I must be careful of the company I keep. Alright, so what's the next step? So let's start by napping. We'll search the city, and then we can combine the vitality for a lesson learned. Obviously, I'm gonna want to play around with my own, my reason and boost that up. But let's take advantage of what we can with the health first. And Season of Suspicion, we don't have that much to worry about. We've got a Mystique on the table, but it's nothing dramatic. We can buy some more books from Moorlands, though. It takes time to sort the gold from the dross, the wheat from the chaff, the blood from the water. If I buy enough books, I'll find something interesting. Now, one of the ways that you can think about this sort of library challenge, it's important to note that it doesn't mean I can't read books. It does mean, however, that if I want to read a book, I'm going to need to figure out a way to get a replacement for it. So I have a hypothesis about how that works, and it actually means that this is not much of a challenge. The challenge doesn't really impose any major constraint, and so one consequence of that is I want to try and be a little creative in terms of some of the other, the other things that I do or don't do. But again, that's fine. This is for fun, right? It's not like I'm sitting down trying to reinvent the way people play Cultist Simulator. So one of the first challenges that we're encountering is that, in order to pursue books, so like right now I can pursue Moorlands, and I can go to Oriflamme's. Like there are ways that I can buy books. But I'm not really going to be able to do any expeditions, and I'm not going to be able to found a cult. Or really, I'm not going to be able to do that much without without lore, and the only place I can get lore right now is by reading books. That's not always true. For instance, if you do the aspirant, I believe you get started with one. Well, I guess it depends on the lore that you, or how you read the bequest. But the bequest gives you lore, and then the what was it? I think you also wind up with a secret histories when you unlock explore, which of course we have all of our verbs, but we don't have any of those extra things. So, you know, one of the things that I might do is crack open one of the books to be able to access the Mansus, and of course that's going to grant me access to that's gonna give me the ability to get more secret histories. But again, you know, is that the way I want to approach this? Obviously, there's this whole thing about like not reading the forbidden file. You know, do I want to crack open one of these books? And again, consistent with the playthrough, like knowing that, like, I have a suspicion in terms of how I can get books that I've previously read. So there's that side of me which says, you know, is there a better way of approaching it? Like, is there a way that I might be able to make this a little bit more of a binding challenge? So for instance, I think I can get all of these books again, but I want to act in a way that these are the only ones that I'm going to have, and what I want to do is think about where I get duplicate copies, let's say. But again, we'll worry about that down the road. But like right now, I'm sort of hoarding books. Now, I've got 2 seconds left before I can start doing interesting things. And we have Rhaenyra. Rhaenyra likes to convert admirers into worshippers, and Rhaenyra has Ascension 3 already. So what I'm curious about is whether or not I can take the tentative evidence and just use that to make progress on Rhaenyra. Investigating a target, the more reason I use, the better my chance of success. Alright, there's another lesson learned. Let's combine. Now I think if we need 3, right? No, just 2. Alright, well, there's my extra physique, or health. And we found something noteworthy on the white. So back to Moorlands, we certainly have the money for it. The wrong kind of attention. The city is rife with journalists and detectives and other meddlers. How long will they leave me in peace? And another season of suspicion, so not too much to fear there. I am slightly hoping for, using my reason to be able to get a, a light in the skull. Okay, we've got a collection of essays. That's going to help us out. Now, it's worth remembering we can't get to the top level for a reason until we have lore. So we're always going to be one short of where we need to be. Well, until we open certain books, but... Alright, the constant clatter of closing doors, the damp stains of the station walls, and the smell of boot polish and unwashed constables. All this narrows to a single crystalline truth. I've made progress and earned myself some overtime pay. Very happy about that. So I've got the damning evidence, and tentative evidence for that matter. But in this case here, I still want to keep the reason on the table just in case. So we'll use our physique to get ourselves a little more vitality. We are going to have to give up some time on the lesson learnt, but that's fine because I can employ... Actually, what I can do here, I can actually use the reason because we know it's a season of suspicion, not a season of ambitions coming up. Okay, Season of Despair, so I'll be able to employ my reason towards advancing again. Although maybe I want to use up that vitality We'll see. Traveling at Night, Volume 1. I found something noteworthy. Very noteworthy. So that's definitely my way to the wood if I choose to read it. The world is awash in printed words. Even the newspapers contain knowledge sometimes. So we could rest up. I have a few seconds before I get my reason back. Now, it would seem to me, if I do the damning evidence, I would just need the single reason here. So investigating a target, the more reason I use, the better my chances of success. No, maybe not. The words contain knowledge, now I contain it. It's a little like theft, a little like feasting, and a little like the progress of an infectious disease. So what we'll do here is we'll take advantage of the lull and grow stronger. And then I'll go back to making myself smarter. And Season of Ambition, so I definitely want to make sure that I've got a reason available. All right, Kerner and Goethe. Let's see here. Just trying to think of some other things that I can try and do to push along my progress. I'm safe for now. My adversary has not enough evidence to bring a case against me, and they found no new clues. I definitely need to make some more money, but I figure like locking up potential followers is probably not a bad way of doing that. Alright, an introduction to the histories. So I need to figure out a way to read what these books are as I acquire them. Maybe if I find myself with a little idle time, we'll go over that. But for now, I'm just going to collect them. Maybe when I catalog them, I can get the titles. So there we go. Solving the case, I've turned over my evidence to the Assistant Director General of the Suppression Bureau. At this moment, I can assume hard-faced men in plain clothing are pounding on the door of my quarry. And here we have the hardened physique. You may not know it to look at me, but I have grown as strong as a smith or a soldier. So, 3 lessons learned in this case. That's going to be a bit harder to achieve. Going to focus on my reason right now. I've got 2 left over. Currently, we're working the case. Wolf despair prowls elsewhere. No dread empowers this despair. It's over for now. And here we have the humors of a gentleman. Okay, so it's a little I'm a little short on money, so we'll go back to regular investigation for now. And the scent of the pages. What hungers drive me? So this is the reason why we've been holding back with the reason. I cannot forget what I saw in the file on Daniel December. I am disciplined. I am all discipline. I haven't lasted this long to give up so easily. And we found an overlooked place, but in this case, we'll take a nap. I can, however, use my walk. I am close to losing my my vitality. I think I'm probably just going to have to take the hit here, to be honest. Alright, the Suppression Bureau holds their trials in closed court, and they are not merciful. My quarry disappears from the world, and I've earned myself a promotion. It seems to me like I've just... I've got the same position. I'm assuming the promotion it's referring to is the favor from authority. So, I mean, if I want, I can... I can just work the evidence again. I think in this case we'll do our Arms of Iron work. We're leaving this vitality to rot. We need to preserve the erudition I currently have. What am I doing? Course of the Heart. Whenever the principle of the heart is implicated, I may gain vitality. And not much else we can do right now with the dream slot. We may be able to make something with this evidence, though. And another Season of Ambitions. I should keep an eye on that. The temptation is past for now. Another Course of the Heart. I am not going to complain about that. Okay, so let's heal up. Let's actually start by working the tentative evidence. And here we can go back to Moorlands with a bonus, see what we can pick up. All right, we've got a troublemaker. There are reports, troubling reports in this one. Okay, so here's our lesson learnt. Again, we need 3 of these, so I may have started the ball rolling a little too early on this one. I am a bit worried about how soon I'm going to need my reason, but I'm gonna bank on having this reason available to sort of hold off the temptation. Oh, well, we made the right call, it turns out. So. Refresh from a nap. I don't really need to use this, but it does give me a chance for a Course of the Heart, which is good. I've actually got quite a few vitality, so I've got 4, so that's 2 lessons learned worth. And we have the Locksmith's Dream, Portions and Proportions. So we'll head back to Moorlands again. We want to basically clean out Moorlands if we can. And moving up, we've got a Season of Despair, so as long as I don't generate any dread, I'm fine. Alright, my investigation has turned up no new leads, so a bit of a shame there. We did put 2 reason into that. In fact, no, we'll still be able to work the evidence, but I do want to make sure that I'm getting some health in the meantime. Arrival is considering an expedition, so don't have to worry because we don't have any expeditions on the table. We've got a new language book. Back to Moorlands. In this case, we will do one more read, whatever's to hand. We may open up a collection of essays. Just because if I can speed things along as far as the vitality goes, that may give me a hand. Traveling at Night, Volume 2. It takes time to sort the gold from the dross, the wheat from the chaff, the blood from the water. If I buy enough books, I'll find something interesting. Okay, so let's think about what we're going to do with our character here. I do want to try and make something of the evidence. Honestly, the question is, do I want to wait the 8 seconds or not? I think I probably should. Yeah. Okay, so only 2 reason here. Investigating a target, the more reason I use, the better my chances of success. And my rival seeks tools and lore for their own ascension, so they're only at level 2, which is good. So again, we're going to wind up giving up a bit of vitality here, but I think in the end, it's justified. And we have another collection of essays. So the real question here, if we succeed in turning this into damning evidence, we'll be able to deal with the troublemaker, and if we fail at that, then we... use the one reason here. Still trying to pursue even my collections of essays. Like I said, one of every book before we finish the run. So yeah, we do wind up losing some of the vitality, but that's life. Collection of poetry. Now we haven't even gotten our additional passion yet. That's an option available to me, but not one I want to follow up on quite yet. Just mostly because I have opportunities with the, with the erudition and such. I may want to think a little more carefully, though. I am going to have to open one of these essay books in the end. Even then, actually, I may have already blown it. Alright, progress. The constant clatter of closing doors, the damp stains on the station walls, the smell of boot polish and unwashed constables. All this narrows to a single crystalline truth. I have made progress and earned myself some overtime pay. Which is good. We've got a season of despair coming up, so this is very silly, but I'm actually going to use the damning evidence. I may have blown it with the erudition, though. I think this is going to decay before I can work with it. And we've got skeleton songs. Anyways, we are at time, so I think I'm going to have to leave it here. I'll probably wind up splitting up the recordings, but we've made some progress. So we're doing well financially. We're financing our library through locking away potential followers had we been the leader of a cult. So I don't think the question... right now, the acquisition of the books that I can get from Oriflammes and Moorlands, that's probably in hand. The question about where I'm going to wind up getting my initial lore to get the secret histories, and then of course to be able to do all the different vaults and such, that's maybe another question. But even then, I have some ideas about how I might accomplish that. But it'll be fun. But yes, thank you everybody for watching. We will carry on making some money, getting some books, and then seeing how we can navigate a playthrough where we constrain our abilities to get some more lore. We will talk to you then.